Okay, so if there was an award for most obscene lighting in a video, I think I would get it. Curse the basement apartment. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite art mediums, colored pencils. I really love colored pencils. Like, they've been my favorite thing to work with since high school. The purpose of this video for you, the viewer, is so before you want to invest like $50, $60, $100 in colored pencils, you know what you're getting into, and you know how you can best use your colored pencils for your artwork. The first colored pencils I'm going to be reviewing are these Crayola colored pencils. There's some Crayola, there's some other just generic brands of colored pencils in here. You see them? I'm not that big of a fan of rose art colored pencils. I think they're a little bit too cheap. But whatever floats your boat. If you like your Crayolas or your rose arts, they're pretty much the same thing. They're these like really childish, student grade colored pencils. We've all grown up with them. We've all colored with them. We've all seen them. One thing I really like about these colored pencils is that they're cheap. You can get a set of 90 for like 10 bucks at Walmart. You don't have to order them special online. You don't have to go to a special store to get them. This is a wax-based colored pencil, so what that means, and what I've found with wax-based colored pencils, is that the softness of the lead really varies. All Crayola pencils are pretty hard lead. They show a lot of texture on the paper, so you're probably not going to see them as much in Crayola colored pencils, but reds are usually really soft when it comes to wax-based colored pencils, but greens and dark brown and black, they're more hard. Like the lead in this pencil, this is just a brown pencil. The lead in this brown pencil is going to be more hard than the lead in this red pencil. So there's sort of an inconsistency, but it's hardly noticeable in these really hard lead colored pencils because they're all hard. You don't get a lot of coverage with them, but if you do get a really big set of these, you get a wide variety of pencils, and they're just really great for practice. If I were to grade these pencils, all right here, I would probably give them a 6 out of 10. You know, they aren't the greatest pencil, but they're still pretty fun to practice with. Not all results are typical. I spent a lot of time just trying to get the colors right with both of these. So those are Crayola colored pencils. The next colored pencils set I want to tell you about is my favorite colored pencil set. They're Derwent watercolor pencils. I got the 72-cent. These are my favorite colored pencils to work with because they're so versatile. You can use them if you want to do watercolor. You can add the watercolor, and it shows like all these techniques on the back you can do with them. You can just use them dry. They're close to the Crayola in their hardness. I'm not sure if they're a wax-based colored pencil or clay-based colored pencil. Another thing I really like about them is that you get a pretty wide variety of colors. It's like with all these skin tones and stuff. I'm not sure if you can see it, and I don't really want to. Okay, so these are all the skin tones you get in here. Like there's all these right here you could use in portraits. You also get this set, and you could use this with drawing flowers or botanical drawings, anything you want to do. And they're really fun to work with. I think At least I think they're fun to work with. I really like them. One thing that I don't really like about these is that even in the 72 set, which is the biggest set for the Derwent watercolor pencils, you don't have a true red. So you don't really have a scarlet or a red or a crimson color. I think that the closest you get to red is this Germanium Lake color. And even that's a little bit pinkish orangish, so it's not really red. See if I can find a few drawings that I've done with Derwent watercolor pencils. Well, I didn't do the background of this in Derwent watercolor pencils, but I've used watercolored pencils as a base for the skin, and then I used some Prismacolor over the eyes and the lips and stuff just to get that red, but you can see how the Derwent skin tones, they're just really nice to work with if you're using them for portraits, or if you're trying to just get a really soft look in your subjects. Here's another one I did with Derwent. This horse is done with Derwent colored pencils. So that's pretty much it for these. I think I would give these like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10 just because I love them so much and they're so versatile and so nice to work with, and I just think they're a really good value for your money. The next colored pencils I'm going to talk about are probably the most popular among artists and colored pencil artists, and they're Prismacolor. I really like these too. They are a wax-based colored pencil, meaning that you do get some inconsistencies with the leads and stuff, and coloring with them is more like coloring with a crayon than it is coloring with an actual pencil. So the first time I used them, I didn't really like them because they were just so soft for me, and I was so used to using the hard leads and the Crayolas and the Derwent watercolors that I didn't really get used to them at first. This is a 60 set. I think it was around $70 or $80. But this is what the pencils look like. They're all messed up. Yeah, they come in 3 layers. All Prismacolor sets come with a really wide variety of colors, which is pretty nice. They're very soft, so it does take some getting used to them. One thing I like is that you do get this true red. This is crimson red. The 60 set also comes with the scarlet red and a couple of other reds. But yeah, they're pretty good with coverage. So if you want to cover big spaces, you can do that. You can also water them down with paint thinner. They're pretty versatile. They do pick up the texture of paper like really well. So if you want to have like a more smooth kind of texture in your drawings, you probably want to go with the Derwent or something that's not really this waxy based. But if you color hard, you can kind of get a more even, smooth laydown of the color. If you are a layering person and you really like to layer your colors on and you like to press really hard, I would say watch out for these colored pencils, because if you put too many layers on or if you press too hard, you're going to get what's called wax bloom, and that's when the wax just sort of forms like a filmy layer on top of your work and the colors all mush together and it just looks really muddy. So this is drawing I did with the Prismacolor. The camera really can't pick up all the colors and vibrancy that is in this, but I'll put a link to my DeviantArt page that has this drawing, so you can see just how bright and vibrant that Prismacolors can make your drawings. Oh, I would probably give these about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. They're really nice colored pencil, and once you get used to them, they will like give you really vibrant colors in your drawings. So if you're a comic book artist, or if you like to draw just really vibrant colored pencil drawings, I would recommend that you get Prismacolor pencils. The third set I want to talk about, and also the most expensive set that I have, are these Faber-Castell colored pencils. I want to point out a few things I like about the packaging of these. I know that if you're an artist, you don't really care about the packaging, you just want to use them and draw with them. But what I really like is that it has hinges, so you can open it, you don't have to worry about losing the cap, and you can just take these and set them up on your desk so they're just like this, and I think that's like really awesome. I also like that how the colors are sorted. With Prismacolor and Derwent, you kind of, all the pencils are just together, and a lot of times they don't make any sense where the colors are, but here it's like you have your yellows and your oranges, and then you have your pinks and your reds, and your blues and purples, and then you have your greens and all these things right here, and then you have your grays and your browns and stuff. So I really like that about these. Tea break. These are oil-based colored pencils. Let me take one out to show you. I haven't really used these a lot. They come pre-sharpened in the package, and this is what the sharpening, this is how sharp they come in the package. So you don't have to do a lot of sharpening preliminary like you do with the Prismacolor. These have a really smooth laydown on the paper. They're really smooth. They don't have a lot of they don't show a lot of grain of the paper. They're sort of in between Derwent and Prismacolor as far as hardness goes. They aren't very chalky like the Derwent, but they also aren't very crayon. They aren't like crayons like the Prismacolor. So they're pretty much in the middle, and their texture, they have very smooth texture. I really like them because it's a very smooth laydown. You get good coverage. So one thing I don't like is that you don't get a lot of skin colors here. This is the biggest set that Faber-Castell sells of these colored pencils, and this is your flesh tone, and it doesn't look like a flesh tone. So it says, I don't know if you can see it. It just says medium flesh tone. That's what I'm kind of unhappy about. Like, you only get 5 or 6 skin tones that you can really use. So if you're a portrait artist, or if you like to do skin tones and stuff like that, I would recommend that you would probably want to pick up these separately at your local art store, or just don't get a big huge set that you invest like $100 in, because you're not going to get the skin tones that you want. However, if you're a botanical artist, or if you like really bright colors in your drawings, these are really bright. They aren't as soft as the Prismacolor pencils, so they're going to last a little bit longer than the Prismacolor pencils, and they're really good for layering too. If you are like a layering freak and you just love layering and you like getting all the colors from the layers and stuff, you can get these colored pencils. They're super good with layering. I got the Faber-Castells back in November, I think, so I haven't really used them, and I haven't really experimented with them as much as I would like to. I do have one drawing though. This is a pinup girl, like a snail pinup girl. As you can see, this is censored, So this is a May 2014 calendar. The shell is done with Faber-Castell. All of this stuff is done with Faber-Castell. Her hair is done with Faber-Castell. The only thing not done with Faber-Castell is the skin tones. I've really tried and gave them a good chance working with the skin tones, and I just couldn't do it, so I made them out of Derwent watercolor pencils. Overall, my rating of these would be a 7 out of 10, just because they don't have enough skin tones for me. Oh, I'm so mad. I spent $90 on a 60 set of colored pencils, and they didn't have enough skin tones. It makes me sad. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope that you can sort of excuse me for my bad video shooting skills. This is the first time I've ever spent talking in a video, so let me know how I did. Let me know if there's any colored pencil or pastel tutorials if you want me to do, or if you want me to try any new art product, whatever. I'll do my best. I'm gonna include links in the description if you want to buy any of these colored pencils. I'm gonna show you my favorite sites, and other than that, bye.